you mentioned about Fireside. So if you could tell me what all types of companies does Fireside invest in and how much is Omnichannel a part of it?
So I think in today's world, if you're investing in consumer brands, omni-channel is pretty much every brand today, if not today, but tomorrow will be omni-channel in their journey. So I don't see them as two distinct buckets. Every brand we invest in starts a journey either on online first or sometimes an online and offline journeys together. So eventually all brands at this scale, we're seeing them go omni in a very, very faster way than what we've seen in the past. So I would say it's a complete actually overlap.
Okay. So what does Omni mean to you?
So I think, while everybody believes that Omni is about being present in multiple channels, I think what's happened in the last few years, especially, is founders and brands have evolved to stop thinking channel first, but more consumer first. What it means is be present where your consumer is wanting you to be and interact with them in the right shopping environment, the way they want to interact. And hence, omni-channel is just not about multiple channels and where brands are present. It's a very structured way of building layers and layers of communication as well as interactions, because ultimately, and especially the new age brands, are selling concepts. They're trying to help consumers understand why they are different. So while there is a world of Instagram, while there's a world of discovery, there are multiple channels where consumers are comfortable, and these are different cohorts. Sometimes channels play a role of acquisition, sometimes the channel play a role of retention. So it is, almost think of it as a bag of surprises where every channel behaves differently. Brands meaningfully are now seeing how one operates in tandem with the other. And that is where efficiency comes into play. So to put it, in a very crisp way, omni-channel for us is about meaningfully constructing different shopping environments for your brand to talk to consumers at large, where a channel could have specific strategy, a channel could have specific problems. But if you zoom out, the brand at the core of it remains the same. The proposition remains the same.
So Ankur, I was recently reading this report which talks about that India retail is a $1 trillion market in 2025, and by 2030 it is touching 1.95, almost 2 trillion. So if you could tell me what is the omni-channel or Fireside contribution to it, and how big you are seeing this opportunity to be for you guys?
I think omni-channel is going to be the nidus of this growth, going from 1 trillion, 1.1 trillion to about $2 trillion. And the reason is the consumers. And the reason is very simple, that today consumers are very, very comfortable discovering brands online, going offline and experiencing them, and shopping offline, and vice versa. So I think the engagement models between online and offline is blurred to the extent that consumers will interact with brands on the channel of their choice. And hence it is not about channel first, but it's more about consumer first. And given how we are seeing founders build their omni-channel pipe in a very meaningful way, I think the new age brands for sure are looking to gain a large share of this omni-channel retail growth that's going to play out in the next few years.
In fact, I see there are two things which are happening in this growth. One is unorganized retail, which is about 85%, will come down to 65%. Then also it's growing 50%. And this whole omni play which is coming in.
Yeah, in fact, I'll tell you, if I just look at within the portfolio, over the next 4-5 years, my hunch is our portfolio brands will open north of 500 EBOs.
Wow.
And to me, that's telling a story of how much contribution omnichannel brands at large are going to do to this whole retail growth story. So I think a large part of this growth is going to come on back of omnichannel. And the reason is because today consumers are very comfortable discovering new brands, new concepts, new products, but also openness to try. Now, what it means is, and as the ecosystem has evolved, as brands and founders have tried out, built playbooks on the omni-channel side, they're very comfortable taking it offline at the right time with the right strategy. And that to me is going to be driving a large part of the retail growth. And we're seeing this play out, whether it's high streets, whether it's malls. The new age brands are the new anchors to drive footfall. And hence, In fact, it's also the traditional brands, right? If you really think about brands which have existed for a long time have built their digital side. So today, every brand in almost all categories is talking about an omni-channel play. And hence a large part of the growth on retail is going to come on back of omni-channel the way I see it.
Yeah, because people are spending 3 hours on social media, 7 hours on internet. So it's the new TV, and that's where the discovery is happening.
That's
In
right.
fact, I was talking to somebody who's into this wedding retail, and they were saying कि on from their social media people take screenshots and then they say कि यार मुझे ये वाला कुर्ता चाहिए, ये वाला लहंगा चाहिए, and two different people. So if there is a buy button there, you then go and then book it and then you try it, because there's a lot of customization of size. So if you want to get discovered, otherwise people will forget you.
Yeah.
In the world of omni-channel brands, brands used to start online, then they will establish online, and then they will go offline. So is that still happening, or it's like you go online and you quickly find the PMF and then you quickly pivot to offline? So where are you seeing this trend happening?
So I think the difference now is offline is as much as part of the PMF now, I would say. There is a lot of playbooks which have got created. There are many, many examples across categories where brands have demonstrated very meaningfully and efficiently that there is a omni-channel retail playbook where there is method to the madness. B, I think a lot of ecosystems warmed up to that idea, whether it's the mall operators, whether it's the high street landlords, etc. C, I think the pipe around this whole online driving footfalls to offline is becoming real. And there are many bunch of such other things. So what's happened is that it is, while it may still sound sequential, and there are some categories where, again, the nuance comes into play where offline is faster than some of the other ones. But the whole playbook of how do you meaningfully engage the audience online, get them to the right shopping environment in the offline space, that part of it has started to happen much early as compared to what we saw in maybe the early days of maybe 2022, prior to 2022.
So, Ankur, what has changed in this omni-channel playbook in the last 4-5 years? Maybe supply side, demand side, if you could share your thoughts.
I think one, specifically on the demand side, the consumers are very comfortable discovering new brands, new concepts, new products online, go offline, shop for it, experience it, feel the touch and feel of the product, the brand getting experience on the offline side. But what's also important on the supply side of it, and the ecosystems come together. The founders have become very open to experiment with the omni-channel playbooks early on. And there are many examples in the industry where successfully a lot of scaled businesses have got built out. The likes of Lenskart, First Cry, Sleep Company, Jiva, etc., where meaningfully a shopping environment offline has been created, where consumers are walking in. It's a trust building, it's a brand building as well as conversions. The first port of discovery could have been online. I think the second bit important is how the mall operators, for example, because the consumers were looking for novelty. They've always been looking for the new brands and the choices. In fact, one of the things I keep saying is the era of multiplexes and restaurants, when they were driving a lot of traffic onto the malls, the new age brands are playing that role.
Yeah.
Multiplexes actually have moved to a lot of OTTs, for example.
Yeah.
A lot of new age brands are the reasons why consumers are coming into the malls. And hence, we are now seeing a lot of mall operators look to partner with new age brands, not only in class A malls, but also malls which are coming up.
Yeah.
Because they are seeing that meaningfully play out. I think a third, and India doesn't have a formal high street, and you can't compare an Indranagar as a high street, let's say, to a Lincoln Road. It's different, right? So it's also being built very amicably. Again, then the shopping complexes, both residential and commercial, have different nuances, and you don't have an apple to apple comparison.
I think the only organized high street I see in India is the Connaught Place or the Rajiv Chowk.
That's right.
Like it has been done almost 50 years.
If you just rewind by 5 years back, what brands were there in the Connaught Place, and now you will see a lot of
changes.
brands. In fact, one of the things which I strongly believe in is that the new age brands are the new anchors, especially when it comes to high street, especially when it comes to the market complexes.
Yeah.
They're not
Very
only
true, because hardly any. We used to go to watch movies. That job has made it helpful in by watching Netflix, because every time you watch a movie and says Netflix, तो बड़ा दर्द होता है दिल में ना कि मतलब why did I pay so much money? Yeah.
I think what's interesting sort of is that consumers are not just walking into the malls and these new brands in the stores. They're actually walking out of the shopping bag. Ultimately, what matters to the brands in the mall is also the fact that consumers are walking away with a shopping bag.
Yes.
And that's the true testament of whether it's working or not. And we are seeing it live. Right? It's happening now where the new age brands, for example, brands like Yumi, when they open a store, there's a long queue. Almost think of it as parallel to what we've seen the Nikes and Adidas do with their drops. Now, to me, that is a great proof point that consumers have made up their mind to come and shop. And they're looking forward to even before the stores opened up. Those are great examples of what's the world moving to. And the mall operators are seeing it. We're seeing a lot of openness. We're seeing a lot of willingness to partner with the new age brands. They're very open to try out very different kind of models, whether it's in terms of the lease lock-in periods, whether in terms of rental increments, whether in terms of how they are churning out brands which are not seeing that kind of footfall or sales. So I think that ecosystems coming together. The last bit is when it comes to playbooks, right? Whether it is in terms of how do you build the online pipe to offline, how do you drive retail analytics, for example. Lenskart used a lot of retail analytics, I'm told, and of course you were driving it. Would love to understand from you as well in the conversation on how Lenskart used retail analytics. I think those kind of ecosystem partners as well as playbooks are coming together. In essence, what's happened in the last 5 years is founders with examples, with proof points, and the ecosystem openness, and with the consumers wanting to do that. It's match made in heaven. And hence you're seeing a lot of brands open stores early on, create those playbooks, and then build it for scale.
Yeah, in fact, I remember when Broadway was open, Broadway, the Biani one.
That's right.
I went to Delhi to visit the store and experience it because it had hosted a lot of D2C brands also. So I went almost like 35 kilometers, spent 1.5 hours on road each side to experience it. It was nice. So we're going to a store. Just pehle Big Bazaar had used to drive crowds, and they used to learn from Tirupati's line management system.
That's right.
So अभी तो many malls, मतलब some malls really work, कुछ malls बिल्कुल ही deserted होता है. तो
I think it is more about the novelty. It's more about today's consumer is looking for those new age brands.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it today. There is tech which exists, for example, like a Geo IQ, which can help me almost understand absolute to the detail of what kind of catchment area
you can
I am getting into or what I want to get into. And that's the starting point, which means the chances of a success is so high because you've mapped the catchment area with the right product and the proposition. And then you've gone into the right environment.
Yes.
It's all coming together. And that is what
But
we
you
are
see
seeing.
a lot of mall owners very open to new age brands, structuring the deals in a more
Yes.
easier manner.
Yes. And I think they've woken up to that opportunity and like how.